Hey guys, Canoe Ambassador Dave Norona, and as you've seen now, we have released the all-new G5 platform in the Summit Deep Snow Mountain segment. So I hope you guys are super pumped. I don't have obviously one right here at my house, but I did want to take you through some of the differences with all the models. So we'll sort of start with the lineup. We're going to have the Summit SP, the Summit Edge. Those will be available in season. They won't be able to be have with the turbo. And then we'll have the Summit X, we'll have the Summit X Expert package, and of course the free ride. Now the biggest thing you're going to notice on the machine, the new one, is that they all have the new G5 bodywork. So one of the coolest things, and it will make a huge difference when you stand on the machine, is actually it's 3 inches, so 1.5 inches narrower through the whole machine, and that's across the board on all 5 of those models. When you stand on it, you're really going to be amazed how narrow it is. When you're standing on the machine, you can literally see the spindles. So it's very, very much more narrow. The bodywork has changed as well. You'll notice that it's a little bit more it sort of follows the curvature of the engine. So now you'll see that we get a glove box back on all the models. So you get that glove box back. We have a new air intake system that's actually performs better and is less prone to being wide open on the top. So you get better airflow, and it's also stronger as well. And of course that super big gauge, 10.5 inches, goes right through there. So you'll be able to see all the really important things you need to see, and it'll be able to use with the BRP Go app. Plug and play. It's really, really cool. You're absolutely gonna love it. Now, the other thing that you'll see is on the free ride and the expert package, we're gonna have that new adjustable brake lever, which is really, really cool. So you can adjust it just with your finger, and works really well. You'll also notice on the machine will have now, these panels are so narrowed up that they had to follow the sort of the curvature of all the parts. So your CVT that normally on your machine now is separate, one whole door, and then we have the CVT cover that's actually in part of the door now. Okay, so there's one part of the door that comes off, and when you take that off, your CVT cover will be in there. And this you'll notice there's a little panel up here that's actually to fill your oil, and tools will actually go in there. So you can actually put your tools back in there now, from, as you know, I've always stated to keep them in your glove box so they don't fall into your clutches. That won't happen anymore because it's a separate compartment. And one thing that's really cool about the clutch CVT area is that it's kind of a closed system. So you used to be able to draw warm air from the engine through your clutches. That's no longer. There's a back panel on the inside that is closed off from the engine, and when you close the door, it's closed. So it actually brings cold air into the system and takes the warm air out of a vent on the front and also at your foot. So you're going to see cooler clutches as well. Very, very cool. Also with the boards, not only have they been narrowed, but they've also been reduced on the X model by 11%. So they're more open, and they're also more open on the SP model as well. So that's very cool. Moving back here, there is no room now for your belt up front. So your belt will actually be centered back here with a bag that is made and comes with the snowmobile, and that's where your belt will go. An all new tunnel as well. So the tunnel's going to be lighter, not only lighter, but it's also going to house less coolant, so it'll be lighter that way. And another big thing, if you want to come back here to the skid, it's an all new skid. So what they've done is the arms are longer here, and this is to make the machine still be playful but be more precise. So longer arm, the T-motion is moved back, and that does all those, sort of works with all those issues. And then also what it does is it gives you more suspension. So you're going to see a little more suspension out of the rear skid as well. When we move to the track, So one of the things, it's a brand new track as well. 3-inch lug steel, more durable, lighter, and if you'll notice, the lugs also have kind of go in on the rear, on the outside lugs, they now come straight out. So you get better traction, it's lighter, and it's more durable. So very, very cool on the track as well. Now, one of the differences in all machines from that's only comes on the Summit X with Expert package is it's now a rigid skid. So to be more precise on those steeper side hills, you're going to see a rigid skid only on the Summit X with Expert package, and it's very cool. It works very, very well. You are going to have to decide now what kind of riding you like to do. So the T-motion works. It really allows the machine to tip over easier and initiate, but when you get into hard, steep terrain, a rigid skid can work better for a more advanced rider. So if you're someone who hesitates in steeper terrain, and you really have to look, I know I talked to Jeremy Mercier about this, and he says, everybody wants to say they ride in 40-degree terrain, and a lot of times he brings people out on his and we'll ask them, how steep do you think this terrain is? And they'll say, oh, it's 40 degrees, and he'll measure with his inclinometer, and it'll be like 22 degrees. So in a lower terrain with a newer rider, the T-motion really does work. It helps initiate, especially if you stop and you want to get it on edge and move through and you're hesitating. But if you're moving fast, there's no doubt that you'll enjoy that new rigid skid. So something to think about when you're looking at, say, a Summit X or a free ride versus the Summit X with Expert package. So lots and lots of things. Other than looking really cool, one of the things also on the new Summit X with Expert package is an all new ski. So what they've done actually is reduced the tail of the ski, and what that does is when you're on a really steep edge and you're side hilling, it doesn't cut into the hail as much and won't interrupt that side hill, and then more ski is moved forward. So very, very cool as well. And of course, when we talk about the turbo, the new Turbo R, 180 horsepower. So it is mind-blowing power. So this is going to be power to weight ratio is the best power to weight ratio sled on the market is the Ski-Doo Summit X with Expert package in the turbo, 180 horsepower. Now it builds up to 6.5 pounds of boost. So that's up 1.5 pounds, which is amazing. So I hope that takes you through a few things on the new machine, even though we don't have the new machine here. You can see and look at all these pieces individually. I just wanted to sort of touch on a few of them and take you through them. I think you're going to be very, very impressed, and you'll be able to hopefully get on one through the spring, but you will be able to see them at spring shows and check them out, and I think you're going to be very impressed. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. I hope it's exactly what you wished for. We'll see you out in the POW. Well said.